right, this would be day number 17. Had a little screw up last night. With the recording equipment. I took my pills at 8 o'clock, but Jules and I were celebrating. Basically, Jules has a new job. She's going to be accepting, so we popped a bottle of champagne and both had, 2.5 glasses of champagne. And then when I came out and started recording my video, I hit the button in the recording, thinking I was recording, and I didn't record. So I didn't want to obviously then record taking a double dose of pills. I figured that would screw things up. So I decided, I'll just go say it in the morning. Anyway, that was great news. We were very happy and excited. But, even, I guess as I'm losing weight, alcohol is definitely affecting me more because, you used to split a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne and that'd be fine. But, we both slept in until a little past 8. So I'm getting down here now. It's 8:30. So, anyway, fun Tuesday. So let's take some pills. And then I went to the gym yesterday. I did chest and back. Today I'm going to go and do legs. I would normally do chest and back on Monday, legs on Wednesday, and then arms, bis, tris, shoulders, lats on, or shrugs on Friday. But seeing obviously we were traveling on Monday, back and chest was Tuesday, and today's Wednesday, so I'm going to do my legs and kind of go from there. One of the observations I had noticed just from lifting is, I am just getting back into it, so I guess my strength is increasing, but generally anytime I've ever dieted and I was lifting, as soon as I started doing a calorie-restricted diet where, I'm taking 1,000 calories, half your normal intake, or for me, more, because I'm a big guy, usually you're just fatigued, you're weak, you lose strength each week. And in this case, I don't feel like that. I have energy throughout the entire time I'm at the gym, and I am getting stronger. So I'll take it. And I was doing some pretty interesting research yesterday about your gut, and how you say, I went with a gut decision. Well, it's really interesting. I guess you have something like a billion neurons, might even be 10 billion neurons in your brain, but you have 500 million neurons in your gut. And there's actual the vagus nerve that actually communicates between your gut, and your brain. In addition, you have 1 trillion microbiome bacteria that are in there, and those actually have a chemical response, just like you have neurotransmitters. There's chemical signaling, and your microbiome is constantly communicating, with your brain, with your body, through chemical signaling. And all these little guys are doing, obviously a lot of good stuff for your system. You live in a symbiotic relationship where they're protecting you and you're feeding them. So it's interesting because the stuff that, like fiber, non-digestible fiber, actually feeds the microbiome bacteria, and actually, your microbiome can produce serotonin, which can make you actually happy. So there's like all these. It's a really complex and interesting feedback system that's going on, and how often you're feeding them, if you're hungry, and then when ghrelin is being put in there, which is a hunger hormone, and how all this all interacts, and then the communication of that gut, up to the brain, and what makes you think why am I hungry, etc. So I'm going to continue doing a lot of research on that stuff, and I think this is going to be probably the pinnacle of my own white paper or patent, basically explaining how this system, constantly having the right amount of food or food types in your belly, and having it on such a pattern, is what it's actually making you feel full and always having sustainable energy, even though you're taking less calories. And some of the other books I've been reading have basically been talking about a calorie is a calorie, but it's not. I mean, anybody can think of, like, if you're taking in steel cut oats and having a breakfast of 100 calories of steel cut oats versus having 100 calories of like a McDonald's hamburger, whatever that amount is, obviously one's gonna sustain you a lot longer. You're gonna feel a lot better off of one than the other. So even though in the sense of a calorie of scientific terms, it heats up 1 degree of water when you burn it, it's totally different inside a body. So I almost feel like we got to get out of this thought process of like a calorie is a calorie, because you have like oatmeal in the morning, right? It like sticks with you, and it seems like it just kind of lasts all the way through lunch. But other foods you have, and then like 30 minutes later, it felt like you didn't even eat, and you're just hungry, and you have low energy. So I almost feel like you need to come up with a different type of system that doesn't necessarily count calories as calories, and it's almost like you have to do figure out a system of what food has a ability to basically stop hunger, and what food has a ability to energize you and give you energy for a longer set of period. And then you could set those as maybe a lower number, and then the foods that seem to last very short and then just cause more hunger would get like a higher number. And that way people could then actually say, well, like, I mean, I'm freaking taking less than 1,000 calories, and I have way more energy than when I was on my friggin' 3,000 calorie diet getting fat. So there's some real science here. I'm excited to learn more. So I'm gonna go my 2.5 mile walk, and then I'm gonna go to the gym and do legs. Alrighty.